Yes, 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 yes. Mr. Science Theater. Mr. Science Theater, at your service, mate. So today we're going to be talking about working out. Now, I'm not a workout genius. Look at me. This is what I've been working on. This is what I've been working out. And so my attendee is about to, my royal vizier is about to join us. Today, hey, whoa!
Move over! Make some room!
You're busting my nuts, mate! Hey, you're busting my nuts! Hey, you're busting my nuts! You're busting my nuts here!
A couple of simple twins can't start a YouTube channel? It costs money. It costs time. It costs moxie. It costs spunk! I'm trying to do
Because you got tiny little hairy balls, and you got the tiny, minuscule little wiener. So this is Mr. Science.
Turn around. The simple twins. Oh, I see you got a little hairy nuts.
And a bitty baby penis.
A bitty baby penis.
Alright, so screen test number 4. We're testing out simple twins, formerly known as White Hodge Twins, formerly known as Curse World Problems.
Curse World Problems never dies. CWP never dies.
I'm Colin Hodge.
And I'm Justin Hodge.
And we're the Simple Twins.
The Simple Twins. In a simple world, living simple lives. Get on down, cause you know that it's true tonight. Oh, tonight.
Yes! Alright, so.
Pull them pants up and let's get down to business because we're diagramming.
I was just going to talk about, we're about to do a workout. You'll see. I was just going to mention, first of all, I'm testing out this mic. I don't know, you left it on, so the battery might be dead.
But
if it's whether it's the native or this one, it doesn't matter. We're just
not unless this is stopping that off, because if we lost all this content,
I saw that it was.
Oh, I'd be mad.
So we're going to talk about muscles and muscle growth. I'm just a simple guy. This is what I've got going on. I try, but it's been coasting the same for the last several years. Just like same, nothing's changed. Same weight, same height, everything. And so everything I'm about to tell you is from the people that I believe with my heart of hearts. In my deepest heart, I believe that they're true.
I would really hate to be the guy that with us.
You think?
Right. Don't forget to bleep that out.
So if you think about the modern muscle, guess what this one is? I bet you can guess.
Bicep.
That's right. That's
Put some tea.
a bicep right there. And we've also got the forearm and
You make him smile.
all right. That's the alligator?
Yep.
Well, okay, so when you do your bicep flex and when you're working out, there's a couple of concepts that I've been circling around. There's a couple of concepts that I've been trying to implement, and I've seen great progress, numerous progress for this. And so the key concepts is number 1, write these real quick. Number 1.
First, hold on. I weighed in this morning at 193 pounds. That's down 10 pounds because I was just pushing. They say you got to be 2 something to do something, but I am taking the road less traveled. I'm going to try to cut a little bit. So I've cut a little bit. So I'm going to write this here. Next video that we do, I'll update everyone. I'll put a J here. J193.
Put C at 185.
185. Are you trying to go up with muscle mass?
No,
or
I'll
are you
try to go down.
He's trying to go down. Okay.
I've never really cut. I've bulked, but I've never really cut. So, all right, a couple of things. You think about workout. Whenever you're lifting weights, you've got a scale. Do a scale. Draw a scale. Like, not a scale, but a scale.
The hands of
Jurisprudence.
justice.
Yep. Okay, on one side you've got intensity.
I gotta change colors.
Do a lightning bolt for intensity.
I'm choosing to do the Power Rangers lightning bolt.
Now on the other side you've got frequency. Do a time, a clock. Father Time. All right, so you really can't have both up or both down. If you have high intensity, high frequency, you're gonna burn out. You're not gonna ever recover. If you have low frequency and low intensity, you're not even gonna ever have anything to recovery from. And you're just going to get fat. Your muscles will waste away, they won't get used.
Whoa!
And so you can do high frequency, low intensity, and that would be what they would call like farmer strength. If you're every single day, you're carrying the bucket to the pigs and then you throw it out there and it's day in and day out and not much changes, but you're doing the same thing over, those muscle fibers get stronger and denser, and more permanent. I just heard this the other day. Really. Chef's kiss to my priest who said the words, slow growth is permanent growth. Slow growth, say it with me. Slow growth is permanent growth.
You're
5 words.
Quick, you're rushing.
Slow growth is permanent growth. And so farmer strength would be an example of that. Lots of farmers stay skinny, but they're strong as a truck. And so, okay, now the other side is going to be high intensity, lower frequency. And so that would be more of the muscle hunk, Mike Menser style. And this is far in that direction where he would be once or twice a week, every 4 days or so, he would go into the gym and do as intensive an exercise as his body requires to just cross that threshold, and then he's done. And he would do that for each, a handful of muscle groups, but he wouldn't overdo it because what he cares about is recovery. So both of those you can recover from really well. When you really get into trouble, basically at worst you have a really rough time and you're running on stress, you're running on cortisol, you're cortisol maxing as it were. And really the more common, less, it's not that big of a deal, but it is a big deal, is just plain inefficient, right? They're putting way more in for diminishing returns.
Stress equals stress. Say it with me. Stress equals cortisol. You don't want that. If you like what you're hearing so far, don't forget to slap that little like button and give us a subscribe. That's what helps us be, us. And so, when you're watching the White Hodge Twins.
That's right, with Donnie Hodge and Justin Hodge.
Give me some room!
Hey, back up off me!
Yeah, come on, give me some more room. You're always making me look too big.
All right,
we might be a couple of white honkies, but we're also conservative.
We're honkies, but we are honkies too, baby. Come on here, little baby girl. Let me give me some sugar.
Come on, let Hunkylees give you a little pinch.
Come in here and sit on my lap.
Come over here and let Hunkylees give you a little slap and tickle.
Don't forget to rate that algorithm for us and hit the like button, tickle the comments, put the little comments in there and tick and slap. All right. Now that we're back, I want to get back to this real quick because here's the thing. Here's what we're discovering. There were a few pioneers in the last few decades, and really, honestly, the ancients had this down probably way better than we even do now. But think about Dr. Raymond Peat. Think about all these other cortisol spike avoiders, I guess. Cortisol disrespecters, and so what they're churning, the wheels that are turning, and what their research and what their self-experimentation is essentially getting at is that you want to go for efficiency, and you don't, people can exist. Your body as a young body has enough to handle stress.
People can exist.
People can exist in stressful states for long periods of time. And that it does work, because you have to think about the good Lord had designed our body to be able to handle such things.
For a reason. For a purpose.
And I think I have this little theory that it's like, if you go way too far in the avoiding stress, you can probably get mentally soft at the very least, but you're probably doing something there to make it so that you're less able to handle when stressful times inevitably come, because life is life. So I think we have these stress systems to handle distressing situations, such as, a death of a loved one, a birth of a newborn. That's very difficult times. Some tragic, an injury or war, famine, right? So you have all these things in you that make it so that you can exist in that state.
But you got to exist at a higher state to be able to choose which tool in the toolbox, because every tool works, but the higher level of thinking and the higher level of being and really taking responsibility
Thriving, not surviving.
And you could say I'm thriving at fill in the blank. A whole meta level dimension of this is learning to be responsible, to invest your talents. We know the parable of the talents. A person could say, I'm going to minimize my cortisol. It's cortisol free 2026. But if that person gets a call from their elderly grandmother, you have to help me. I fell again. I keep falling. And he goes, you're raising my cortisol. I'm out of here. No thanks, block. That's a person who might be thriving at one metric, on one vector. However, what they're doing though is they're not taking care of their own. So in that way, the higher meta level thinking and existing says, well, in this instance, I'm going to use the fight or flight response that I get when I get anxiety, that my poor sweet grandma needs some help. And you say, I'm going to use that toolbox. I'm going to spend some of my cortisol repository to really do the thing, and then I'm going to make sure to recover afterwards. Get home, shake it out. So you could really go wrong in both ways, but we're really getting more philosophical here instead of hunkosophical. I just wanted to put that in. And if you don't mind, just hold that thought. This is a text from my godmother as well. She said, this is a quote. I don't know where it came from. It's totally unattributed. The modern world tends to confuse happiness with comfort. We aim for ease, entertainment, and positive emotion, and then feel bewildered when those things fail to carry the weight of life. The trouble is not that pleasure exists. It is that pleasure is fragile. It comes and goes, comes and goes.
And isn't that just a sweet thing to say?
It was a sweet thing to tell me.
You say, Just?
Yeah, Carl?
I was just thinking about something you said back there. Mm-hmm. You said it was something... What was it?
I find that interesting. I was mentioning something.
And when you mentioned that, it made me think. It made me start to think. Somebody can exist chronically stressed and run off of that, and then it ultimately is going to have poor outcomes.
So true.
Longevity-wise, right? and
as it were.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, you could try to freaking avoid cortisol by any means necessary at all costs, and inevitably it's going to come, and then you may...
Ain't that the truth?
It's going to come, as we all do, and
hey, step that way
it's just
for a
not
moment.
going to work too good.
Step that way for a moment.
So hold on, let me finish my thought.
I just want to say, Mr. Science Skeeter.
That's right. And so, Josh, my point in saying all of this is that I think that there's a healthy balance in the middle. If you think about people like, the Peters often mock the David Goggins types in saying that they're cortisol maxing, and I think that they have a fair point. And the David Goggins types mock the Peters in saying that they're just fat diabetics and that they're just like the easy road all the time. And I think that's a fair point. I think the truth lies somewhere in the middle. It's both and, right?
Yep.
And so probably
you decide.
Most ideally you would have, so the person who, our body is designed to be able to handle that amount of stress, and it has some background like plan B defense mechanisms. But here's the problem. Most of the people who are existing in this state chronically are not in war. They're not in famine. They're not. They don't have death of loved ones anytime, and they don't have newborns. They're just existing like this because of freaking fluorescent lights, and because of the drive to and from work, and because of the boss man or the boss lady.
Boston.
The Boston.
We're from Boston.
The Boston Bruins.
Mystery Science Theater. You've heard of Mystery Science Theater. Now, introducing Mr. Science Peter.
And even better would be Mr. Science Peatler. And so, that perfect balance that we try to strike would probably look something like...
Mm-hmm. It would look something like Colin's always stressing about talking about science and muscles.
No.
Wait, it's perfect. We exist here as the yin and the yang. You gotta get loosey with it.
It's yang.
The yin and the yang.
The yin and the chang.
Now, where Colin's saying we have a goal to get to, and it's okay to sort of rev up the mind and lean into it. We got to have a good video. We have to have a good workout. We have to teach the guys something. We have to entertain. It's so much pressure. It's all this pressure. The yang, that's the yin. The yin. The yang says, at the same time, man, what is it all for? We're here to...
I think you got them twist. The yin, the yang, is like the yin.
Oh. Now that's interesting.
The yin. The yang is like the yang, the dong, right? Yin is the feminine. Yang is the
and you were saying
masculine.
I was being the feminine?
No, you were just... I don't know, man.
I was jester
Can
maxing.
I just finish my point?
Please.
I think a healthy balance in the middle...
Back up! Ow!
I think a healthy balance is
Oh, so
somewhere...
now I'm the bad guy for being a piece of...
All right, listen.
I read that. Give me some room.
All right, listen. Somewhere in the middle lies the answer. This is very orthodox, where there is a tension. The tension of life is going to be there. If there's no tension, so a wise man once said, a wise Protestant pastor once said, pay attention to the tension. What I take from that is that there's always going to be tension, and if there's not, you should be scared. Because frankly, if there's not tension, it means the devil doesn't care about you, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like not even worried about you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the tension. In peacetime,
Right.
in peacetime, you have a job. You're doing your things. There's a little minimal stress throughout life that you got to keep up with or whatever, but you should be avoiding untamed cortisol. You shouldn't be seeking out things or allowing yourself to take on all of this stuff. You should be trying to relax max. You should be trying to try to avoid this stuff. However, I think structured stress is really the key. And so if you think about the church, the life of the church, if you're living liturgically, you're going to be fasting with the church, and you're going to also be feasting with the church, right? And then there's like neutral days where you're just kind of doing your thing.
You work hard, but you gotta play hard too.
That's exactly right. And so, a good friend of ours, Matt from Kingpilled, Matt Jew Erikstein, had talked about this revelation that he had one time, where he was like, wait a second, whoa. The church calls us to fast, and almost it demands it from us. If you're really playing a part in the church, if you're really doing the church thing, you're going to be fasting Wednesdays and Fridays and the great fasts throughout the year. And most of the time people worry about those and they stress about those and they focus on those and they're like, oh, I can't do it. I'm scared.
It's too hard.
And they don't think about the feast days. There's many feast days throughout the year as well, and they might look at their calendar in the morning or their prayer book or whatever, and it'll say, today's the feast of
Doesn't look right.
Today's the feast of Saint Haralambos and or whatever, right? Or the Annunciation, or the this or the that. All these different feasts. You might look at it and you're like, okay, cool, very nice. And you go about your day. And his revelation that he had was
That's
that
right.
you're called just as hard to the feast days as you are to the fast days, because there's something about what God is teaching you in times of feast and times of famine, times of fast and times of feast, where you learn how to participate in His design and in His grace. It like, for the person who only fasts and then ignores the feast days, it's like they're not doing it right. And obviously vice versa. We always think about the other, where somebody always loves to feast but they hate to fast. That's a problem too. of course. But really harmony between the two. And so translate that harmony over to the dude who's trying to not cortisol max. He should probably, if he had a perfect, like, structured life, he would be able to manage his stress and avoid as much cortisol as possible in the day-to-day life. And yet, he would have a routine of, I don't know, putting himself through some heavy workouts. I don't know. Maybe a cold plunge or a cold shower here and there. I don't know. Maybe like camping, sleeping on the ground, out in the stars. Maybe freaking living a weekend every now and then where you flip your breaker box off and you live without power. Those sorts of things, when it's artificial or structured, it's similar to a boy who's training for soccer or football or jiu-jitsu or whatever. There's the training, and then there's what you're training for. But you could train and never really get the thing, and that's fine because you're always ready for it.
Right.
Anyways.
Here, why don't you fix this? I try to do like an Orthodox church. I try to even do like little Roman Greek columns. Look, Colin's going to fix it. He's the artist. He's the resident artist. We're going to switch places. And I like where he's going with this. Now, here in just a minute, we're going to move into part 2, the workout. You guys are going to see how the White Hodge Twins like to crank some steel. It's a wise old man used that idiom. Ooh. Got some Expo spray. Not Expo Whiteboard Care. Now these guys are not a sponsor, but I wouldn't trust my
Jamie, can you give me a double shot?
Jamie, can you get us a double shot? You can just use that any old time. We're trying to get a sponsorship from Expo, but I can't get anyone on the horn. There's a guy down there that I've been really trying to like talk sweet to him and be like, his name's Dennis, and I'll call him and be like, Dennis? That's a whole other thing for a future episode. Whoa, this is like a stained glass icon type of thing up here, I can tell. It's really good. So the next part that we're going to move into is the workout.
And we'll be right back after these short, brief messages.
A quick message
from our sponsor, EWBSX.
Eternal White Boy Summer.
X.
What's the X stand for?
Just whatever you want, man.
Who even knows?
Everything.
You find out. Hey, check out this message from EWBSX.
Check out this message from EWBSX.
And we'll have a brand new character for you over on the rack, which is where we crank the iron, we twist it. We're going to play some football. We're going to play some basketball. We're going to play some baseball. We're going to play some bowling. You're going to see this message from EWBSX. In the meantime, head over to EWBSX.app. app.app. EWBSX.app. Check this message from EWBSX. Enjoy yourself. We'll see you on the other side over in the gridiron. Fired up.
It's on.
All right, guys.
I would hate to be the...
Basically, this is the gym that we're building a little bit. It doesn't have everything, but lesson number 1 is you don't have to have a ton of stuff. You don't have to have the premier, sophisticated, expensive. This place ain't going to be...
This is 15 poods.
Look, it's no...
100 kilograms.
It's no Planet Fitness. But I'm planning on fitness weight.
Fitting this whole weight in my mouth.
Why don't you?
This is gonna be a montage.
Yeah, but that's good. We can pause it and do a little bit too, though. It can be a montage.
My wrist hurts. I'm just gonna tell you that right now.
The mic's over here. Mic's over here. Mic's over here.
My wrist really hurts. I heard it at jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. If you had to guess, and I really heard it, so I can't do anything dumbbelly. Okay, I'm gonna have to do it down here or like this or.
But step aside. Give me some room. But one thing before we do the montage is Colin was going to explain, using me as the model, what would be the Menser method for just me doing a seasoned curly.
So I'm not even actually on the Menser train anymore because.
But that's all right. We'll talk about different perspectives, different
Essentially,
philosophies.
Menser said, "Thinking your body's allocating all of your nutritional resources towards your muscles, thus getting you the most efficient possible, humanly possible way. You would do 1, 2, 3 different leg Mensers. For curls, especially, you don't need to stop at the top, but do the 5 to the top and squeeze the muscle, and then you de-emphasize the eccentric. So the idea here, if you understand what I'm saying, the idea here, and do 4 seconds down, pause at the bottom, and then easy up, quick up. Same with the dips. 4 seconds down, or wait, it would be the opposite. 4 seconds between workouts. It's not the worst thing in the world. Tearing your muscles down more is not a problem in and of itself. But if you take 2 people, and one of them is doing this, and have that much more progress to show for it, because your body can recover from it much quicker.
Let's talk about real quick.
I'm done.
That's fine.
I'm done. Hey, quit busting my balls. I'm done.
Look, these guys are busting my balls because they see that I'm just going the bar only. Well, guess what? Not everyone can afford to get weights. Not everyone has plates, dog. So you just up the reps. I don't know which theory that fits into, but that's what we're doing right now. Maybe next video we'll have a couple 45ers. We'll see. Anyway, we're going to get down to business. And the only thing that I require of you is if you're going to criticize my form, at least leave it in the comments. And don't forget to slap that little white like button.
Don't forget to rape us. I need raped.
All right, guys, we're going to do the rest of the workout in private, so I don't see your judging eyes. But this has been episode 1, really, of the White Hodge Twins. formerly known as Cursed World Problems, currently AKA Mr. Science Peatler.
Yeah. But wait, they have to still watch us. We'll just turn the rest into a montage.
You want to do a montage?
Yeah, we'll just do a little montage. Dude, I don't even know if I can work out tonight.
That's fine. Yeah, we'll do a little montage.
Hey.
I don't know.
How do I look?
Great.
Petey?
Here, I'll angle this down. Give us...
1, 2, 3, 4. I need a spotter.
All right, you ready to power it off?
No, dude, we need to work out for them.
Okay. Another thing that I've been working on is my impressions. For those of you who've been with us since the beginning, I'm looking at you, Well Emmanuel. Back in the Cursed World Problem days, it was all about Austin Powers posting. Yeah, baby, yeah! But we're trying to turn a new leaf. And we're going to be doing... Is this even a thing? Like, I'm trying to do sort of like tricep extensions, but it's all wiggly all over the place. I have no stability. Anyway, we're turning a new leaf. It's all Adam Sandler these days. How does Adam Sandler go? Talking for 40 minutes about like exercise physiology, and then me doing the most embarrassing.
Adam Sandler, he'll be like, "Alright, I'm Adam Sandler." No, he'll be like, he has like a screaming mode.
Yeah, but I want like the baby talk.
This Adam Sandler. Oh, I don't know, man. He also will do like, at the end of the freaking movie, when he's talking to the girl that he actually wants, and then he really screwed over, and she didn't trust him, but he's earning his trust back. He'll be like, "I
know I lied, and I love you. I feel like when I'm with you, you're the only girl I ever saw, or what, you know. He like slows it down.
That was pretty good.
I don't think it was.
I thought it was. I could
leave it in the comments. Tell me if it was really good or not.
What other cool impressions do you think? We're kind of like, we're trying to be the amalgam of like Bobby Hill and Boomhauer.
Yeah.
All right.
That was a good workout. Push-ups, good. Whoever came up with them, leave it in the comments.
Theophilus.
I really do wish this wrist would heal. It never swolled or got hurted, but I heard it at jiu-jitsu. It just kind of like...
Put this behind a paywall.
Got hurt this way. Oh, that hurts right there. Oh, post in the comments if this hurts.
Trying to get people to post it in the comments 10 times throughout the video. Post it in the comments and hit that like button again if you don't mind. If you could, just open up another YouTube account, give it another like, give it another subscribe.
Real quick for us, please, please, please share this with your friends. All right, I'm gonna do another one of those. That was awesome. These actually feel pretty good. Really dynamite. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, you charger.
Alright, and then we just do finish out this flexi. You flex, I'll